87 drones crossed Russia's impenetrable shield and opened a lane to Moscow. You're about to see how a $25,000 drone sets up a $1 million ATACMS to hit like a hammer. We break the kill chain at Belgar, loitering munitions blind radar, ATACMS crush depots and hangars, sniper team sever command trucks. If you want the exact sequence that cracks layered air defense, electronic suppression, precision fires, then maneuver, stay here. The difference between chaos and corridor is 5 steps you can track in real time. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. How do cheap loitering drones punch a lane through a dense radar net without firing a single $1 million shot first? They don't duel the shield. They fog it. Belgar runs on a 3-part kill chain: suppression, exploitation, maneuver, and the clock matters. The first 10 minutes set the board. If the sensors stutter in that window, every choice the defender makes after that comes late. Russia's outer belt stacks layers. Early warning sets skin wide. Point defense waits inside with short-range interceptors. Mobile launchers stage behind them. Hit that ring head-on and you feed premium missiles into a grinder. So the attack starts with cost. Lots of small, cheap airframes. Some carry warheads. Some carry nothing but noise. The opening wave splits by size and altitude. Small quad and fixed-wing loiterers skim low. Mid-weight drones ride a bit higher. Decoys sit just inside radar thresholds. They roll in staggered, seconds apart, to thicken returns and force operators to chase tracks. Every radar mode has a trade. You push detection on one band, you lose fidelity on another. Now the blinding. Select drones carry compact jammers that spit noise at search radars and data links. Others hug folds in the terrain so their radar cross-section pops in and out like a flicker. The group times its arrival so dozens hit sector edges at once, time on target swarms that write false echoes and chew through ready interceptors. When a battery fires into that mess, it pays twice: a missile spent, a launcher revealed. In one sector, the swarm loads up the arc so hard that operators have to cycle modes just to sift the clutter. That click-through search sets leaves a fingerprint. Emission patterns, dwell times, antenna sweeps, enough to fix where the set sits and how fast it reattacks. Those tells feed the board for later fires. You don't need the exact grid to win here. You need rhythm. When does the radar blink? When does the launcher reload? You'll hear the counterclaim: a robust integrated air defense should adapt. It should fuse feeds, switch bands, ignore decoys, and pivot. On a whiteboard, yes. Under persistent swarm, the crew faces 3 bad picks. Hold fire and risk a miss. Shoot early and drain the rack. Switch modes and risk a gap. Every reload creates a hole you can time with a stopwatch. Choice paralysis does the rest. As sensors strain, the next piece is stage. ATACMS and GMLRS sit warmed, but they don't fly yet. Not until the emitter map stabilizes and the gaps hold more than a heartbeat. The goal isn't to win the sky clean. It's to carve a corridor long enough for high-end fires to pass through with guidance intact. That takes minutes, not hours, and it starts with discipline: keep the cheap pressure constant, mark each flare of radar, and track every interceptor cough. This is why you target radar first. Killing eyes beats killing fists. When the defender sees less, your $1 million shots stop chasing launch smoke and start hitting sources: ammunition stacks that feed point defense, rotary pads that lift interdiction, hardened shelters that host command circuits. The fist still swings, but it swings blind. With eyes dimmed and magazines lighter, the second phase can do real damage. Precision now matters more than volume. The hammer doesn't chase the shield. It crushes what feeds it. Once the eyes dim, you don't race the chaos, you schedule it. The corridor isn't granted. It's earned second by second while the net blinks and reloads. What would you do when a $1 million shot needs 10 clean seconds and the enemy buys them back with a single switch flip? Phase 2 is exploitation. The ATACMS and GMLRS salvos wait on the ramp until the radar state holds steady. Not quiet, steady. You need enough consistency to thread guidance, enough gaps to cross, and a target set that matters. Ammunition depots that feed interceptors. Helicopter hangars that launch interdiction. C2 shelters that stitch the picture. Fire too early and you trade warheads for smoke and plywood. Fire too late and the grid powers back on. So the timing tightens. The loiterers never leave. They stay on the edges and peck the emitters, forcing crews to toggle modes and call up reserve batteries. Each toggle writes a pattern. Meanwhile, the missile deck assigns tracks to the nodes that move the fight, ammo stacks, rotary pads, hardened command rooms, because cutting flight hours and burn rate hurts more than scratching a launcher. The salvos cycle in waves, not a single dump. A first volley breaks open the magazine. A second erases the lift. A third peels the nerves out of the command loop. You guard the lanes, too. Decoy drones spin off the approach axis to drag point defense away from the route of flight. Chaff smears hang in the air like a steel curtain, blurring the seeker's world just long enough to force interceptors to chase ghosts. GPS gets warped at the edges by electronic noise, but guidance survives because the clean corridor is narrow and protected for a brief window. This is the David move, a cheap hand that makes the giant look the wrong way. When the fires land, the effects stack. A depot flashes and burns low, not a single pop, but steady heat that cooks fuses and cases. Helipads go dark. You don't need to crater the world, knock out fuel lines, flight control vans, and a few key shelters, and sorties drop to a trickle. C2 shelters lose power or antennas, a backup set takes the net, but the refresh lags. In that lag, more missiles cross. Now Phase 3. Maneuver. Small teams and UGVs creep the corridor edges to keep the opening from sealing. Sniper pairs look for command trucks, not hero shots at airframes. A tire, a radiator, a driver's door. Disable mobility and the truck becomes a room with no exit. Comms vans lose masts. Relay points go silent. A minute later, a convoy that should roll does not. The gap widens. Watch the chain fire through. Depot burns, so resupply slips. Helipads black out, so no quick lift to chase the drones. Command trucks can't move, so no handoff to the next battery. The convoy that feeds point defense stalls on a side road, then backs up, then stops. The shooters inside the ring keep their tubes, but the belt that brings them rounds is cut. Isolated, a point defense unit turns into a local problem you can time and fix. That's the payoff of the three-phase frame. Cheap persistence shapes the lane. Precision fires get the backbone. Light maneuver closes the valve on reinforcements. You don't need a knockout. You need a squeeze that gets tighter each minute until the shield fights on fumes. The outer belt doesn't shatter from one hit. It cracks on timing. And timing is the only thing the defender can't buy back once the wires are cut and the map goes stale. Next comes the race to rewire the net under fire. The corridor isn't luck. It's sequence pressure, sensors suppressed, logistics shattered, then maneuver clamps the arteries. Cheap drones by the window. Precision fires spend it. Small teams keep it open just long enough to starve the shield. You saw the cost math work. A David move that forces a giant to blink. If you track how low-cost drones unlock high-end fires, subscribe and comment your choice below. Where would you strike first, sensors, shooters, or supply? Modern shields fail in stages. They don't break clean. They wilt, node by node. We'll follow the next stage as both sides evolve, adapt, and learn under fire.